Hey Insider, I hope you are doing well. I wanted to drop this quick video today where I'm going to be breaking down the 3 things successful people will never do again. And the reason being is yesterday I had a fortune of actually being invited to one of the top universities in England called UCL.
And I'm not saying this to hurt you right now, but I'm saying when you've got an investor in front of you and you can communicate your message well, they're not going to buy it. Some people, they just haven't practiced enough, and I want you to realize I'm not a natural. I've just practiced every single week on camera, in the mirror. In fact, just a year ago, I wasn't able to speak on the stage, and through mentorship, getting the right training, I was able to become an international speaker.
So make sure you work hard, kids, okay? In fact, it's one of the top in the world. And I was giving a guest lecture to people who were studying PhD masters in entrepreneurship. And one of the questions I was being asked is in regards to what I've learned from transforming my life, where I used to be dead broke, to creating a life of freedom and abundance, as well as what I've learned from interviewing the greatest leaders and connecting with the world's most successful people on this planet, the likes of billionaires and millionaires. And that's why in today's video, I want to break down to you the 3 things successful people will never do again. Because one of the things I realized, that this was what I was sharing yesterday at UCL, is you have to realize, instead of you trying to reinvent the wheel, trying to figure your own way out, realize that the path has been walked before. And as a great Chinese proverb says, to know the road ahead, ask those that are coming back. And so instead of you wondering what should I do and lacking clarity, it's important you immerse yourself in education like the ones we provide at Success Insider. That way, you don't have to repeat the same mistakes that can cost you years to try and solve. And so I want you to write this down if you've got a notepad in front of you. I want you to write down that experience can be timely and costly. Sometimes people just want to try things themselves and just hope that things work out okay. But the reality is that could just that could waste so much time and money and resources in achieving whatever result you want to get. So instead, I find it so important to really immerse yourself in the right education. So that's why I want you to pay close attention. And without further ado, let's go on to the first point, which is all about successful people will never go back to the thing that has not worked before. Think about that. It sounds so obvious. It sounds like common knowledge. But one of the things I realized is common knowledge is not necessarily the common practice. Most people I found across the globe, they know so much, but they do so little. What does it really mean in regards to not going back to the thing that hasn't worked before? Think about it in regards to your life. What have you tried? Let's talk about life, for example, in regards to personal development, in regards to the routines, because that, I believe, is a very key fundamental that you got to master. For example, morning routine, evening routine. And that's why we've created so many videos to do with that on Success Insider. By the way, if you've not watched those videos before, make sure to click over to Success Insider on YouTube and watch all of the videos I posted on morning rituals, evening rituals. So let's talk about just that for a moment, just that element, because we could just talk about this in different elements and we'll be here for many, many hours. And I haven't got time to do just that right now. So let's, for example, just say about morning routine. What have you tried in the past that has resulted in you feeling slumped? Maybe you felt a bit tired throughout the day. Maybe, for example, you woke up and the first thing you did was check your mobile phone. You're just on your phone constantly, just tick, 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 checking your emails. And maybe what ended up happening was you just got the bad news through the email, and that created like a big open loop, meaning you're thinking about it for the rest of the day, and your energy levels as a result was slowly declining opposed to slowly inclining. So think about it. Most people, I find, they never systemize their life. Where, for example, they write down in their journal, this is what doesn't work. This is what resulted in me feeling slumped. What happens is they create this into a negative habit because they're not conscious of this turning into a habit, and they'll keep on repeating it for the rest of their life, constantly checking their mobile every single morning without really thinking about the consequence, nor thinking about how long they've been actually playing upon this habit. Same in regards to your business. What have you tried before that's essentially failed? Because I find so many business owners, they're repeating the same thing over and over again because they've not really systemized properly. And so that's what I want you to realize. The first point is to never go back to what's not working. If, for example, the way you're approaching life right now, maybe you're shy, maybe you're like me back in the past. If you know being shy is not serving you, stop going back to it. Find out the solution. Go get a mentor that can teach you how to be confident. That's what I did. You got to realize if you keep on repeating the same thing, as Einstein once said, insanity is doing the same thing and over, expecting different results. So you got to do something differently in order to get to that next level. In fact, one of my mentors shared this with me when I was in my early businesses. He said, Tim, what got you to here in your life isn't going to get you to where you want to be. You have to forget everything you know in order for you to get to that next level. And that's what I'm going to realize right now. The second thing successful people will never do again is to choose short-term comfort versus long-term gain. Okay, what does that really mean? Well, it's to realize that most successful people, they are able to postpone the pleasure, okay, to continue with their processes to finally get the results that they want. In other words, the difference between the rich and the poor is the poor just do something for instant gratification. So for example, they'll grab a bar of sugary chocolate because they just want that high instantly. While successful people realize, for example, that little chocolate bar may not seem like a lot, only I don't know, a couple hundred calories, but it's those little habits that played upon every single day, that is what dictates the bigger overall picture. It is those millimeter of differences that you're doing every single day that's resulting in the bigger picture. And that's why you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. For example, I was sharing this with the UCL students yesterday. I was saying how I'm speaking to you, and I was, you know, one of the feedback I got actually after the lecture, it was one of the lecturers came to me and said, Tim, that was one of the most energetic lectures I've ever seen in this entire class. And it's because I've been through the right training in regards to public speaking training. You know, I've been speaking all across the globe now, international speaker and so forth, met the president as a result of that. And one of the things I'll say is, when I was learning how to speak, which was just over a year ago, it was hard. Honestly, it was not easy to become a speaker. And yet, what did I do? I didn't give up, right? Do you think I jumped on the stage for the first time and thought, oh my God, this is amazing, so comfortable? Of course not. Every single time my heart's like, boom, boom. Boom, boom. But I still have to push myself, and I'm up on the stage and I'm forgetting what to say, and I'm going through all of this short-term pain, but then I'm getting the long-term return, which is what? I get to serve, I get to impact millions of people. In fact, just on YouTube alone, Success Inside This Message has almost reached 18 million people. And that wouldn't have happened if I would have given in to the short-term comfort. And so that's what I'm going to realize. The second point is to never give in to the short-term comfort. You got to look at the long-term, and you got to be willing to delay the gratification, because broke people are always looking for that instant gratification, and realize there is no such thing in life such as get rich quick, overnight success. You know, one of the things I realized is successful people are rewarded in public for something that they've been practicing behind the scenes for many, many years. So you got to keep at it and realize this is not a sprint. This is a long duration race. So you've got to be persistent. Now, is that pretty cool, by the way? Okay, great stuff. Let's go on to the final point, which is successful people will never become a people's pleaser. What does that mean? Well, I find so many people, especially when they're new to this world of entrepreneurship, or for example, young students who are wanting to be more successful in their life, they're not making decisions for themselves. They're making decisions because their parents told them to do it. Their parents told them to go into a specific career. Their parents said, oh, this is not the right thing to do. And they've been conditioned by the society to really just listen to their head opposed to their heart. You see, I don't know what you want. The person who really does is, guess who? Is you. But the problem is you are looking at the outer world, looking for the verification, when in fact, you know deep inside, when you strip away all of the layers of the onion, your heart knows exactly what you want. But the problem is you're always giving into that little voice that's just talking you out of stuff. That's the very thing that keeps you in the comfort zone. You know that little voice that says you're not good enough? That little voice that says, but what if? Or what if it goes wrong? Or what if, let me ask you, what if it goes right? What if it goes right? Because our mind, remember, is always going to look at the negative. That's the way we've been conditioned. As primal creatures, we have to look at the negative because we're designed to survive. The question is, are you giving in to this? Because by being a people's pleaser, you'll never get to follow your heart and take action and truly create the life you're born to live. This is why, for example, I get people who reach success, earning millions of dollars, unfulfilled. They get to the top of Mount Everest thinking, yeah, that's success. They get to the top of the mount of another success that they've visioned in their mind and they think, yeah, that must be success. They get to the top thinking, yeah, I must feel great then. They get to the top only to realize they want to jump off just as quick. And this happens because they've been listening to other people, trying to please other people and not trying to please themselves. The question I want to ask you is, what do you really, really want? What is your heart saying? And remember, your heart is like a little whisper, it's a feeling, it's intuition. But your little head, your head is going to be just constantly talking loud, loud, loud. That's why I recommend that you do morning routines, evening routines to calm this little voice chatterbox that's been talking you out of opportunities for most of your life. And that's why I recommend you check out more videos on Success Insider to do with rituals and routines. And so that is the third point. Stop being a people's pleaser. And realize also, if I was to give you one final point before I need to go, is you need to know the difference between advice and opinion. For example, your friends, your neighbors, the people you bump into in Starbucks, they're more than happy to give you opinion, right? Think about it. People create a business idea nowadays and they go to their parents, they're like, oh, what do you think of this? They're more than happy to give you an opinion. Most often than not, they'll be like, are you crazy, right? They'll be thinking, that's not possible. But then why is it if you go to somebody who's reached success, somebody who's dreaming big, they, instead of saying this is impossible, they're saying, how can we make it happen? Think about that. It's because there's a big difference between opinion and advice. The problem is, I find, people kind of entwine the two thinking they're the same thing. What advice is, advice comes from somebody who's walked a path. Opinion comes from people you may be surrounding yourself on a day-to-day basis who's just got an opinion about something who've never really walked the talk. And I want you to realize this. Never try to get loads of opinions because you'll be more confused. Get a mentor. Go invest in a mentor and then go ask for the advice. Because that is, if you're gonna be, for example, asking for advice, because I do recommend, yeah, don't just try to do everything solo because there is no such thing as a solopreneur. Behind every entrepreneur, there is a pack of team, empowering team at that. And so if you are gonna get advice, make sure it's the right advice as well. Okay? Does this make sense, by the way? Okay, great stuff. So, I hope this helped. These are the 3 things successful people will never do again. Let me just recite the first thing is never repeat the same mistake. Stop doing the thing that hasn't worked in the past. Stop repeating it. It's not serving you. It's not serving anybody on any level. The second thing is never choose short-term comfort versus long-term potential gain. Okay? The third is to never become a people's pleaser. Follow your heart, my friend, always, and take action on what feels right. Because at the end of it all, think about it. You do not want to be full of regrets in regards to what if. What if I would have quit my 9 to 5 and gone all into a business, my passion? What if, for example, I would have aligned my business with my future vision, aligned with my values? What if I was able to provide my family, my loved ones with the things that they really, really want? That's what we want at the end of the day. We want to be aligned at the end of our lives. And we don't want to be full of excuses. So make sure you take action on what you've learned today. And if you found today's video helpful, be sure to click the like button and comment below in regards to any feedback, questions you may have. And I want you to do this one thing. Share this video with your loved ones, friends on Facebook, on different social media platforms. Because I believe in the power of contribution and paying it forward. Because it is through self-education, we're going to transform the world. Okay? Amazing stuff. Insider, just want to say thank you so much for checking out today's video. And as always, follow your heart, my friend, and take action. And go create the life you're truly born to live. I'll see you on the next video soon. Take care.